Eleanor Brooks wasn't the type to chase drama. After years of wrangling clients as a property manager, she'd hung up her clipboard, ready for a quieter life. At 55, she craved simplicity, a place to call her own, away from the city's clamor and the endless demands of other people's problems. When she found a cozy single-story house in a tidy, suburban neighborhood, it felt like the universe had handed her a gift. The backyard was a gem, wide, fenced, shaded by sturdy oaks, with a rectangular in-ground pool that gleamed under the sun. It wasn't fancy, but it was hers. She pictured mornings with coffee, a good book, and the gentle ripple of water. That was the dream. The first month delivered exactly that. Eleanor woke early, brewed a strong pot, and sat by the pool in a wide-brimmed hat, barefoot, letting time slip away. The neighborhood was perfect, lawns trimmed, noise low, neighbors polite but distant. She didn't need block parties or small talk. A nod across the street was plenty. Everything felt right, like the world had finally slowed down to match her pace. Then Vi Harper showed up. 2 houses down and 1 lot over. Vi didn't just live in the neighborhood, she owned it, or acted like she did. She was impossible to miss. Loud voice, louder outfits, and a personality that filled every room before she even stepped inside. Her hair was a brittle blonde, teased into a dated puff, and her wardrobe screamed clearance rack at a country club-tight khakis, sleeveless polos, and oversized sunglasses that hid her constant scanning. Vi didn't walk. She strutted, hands on hips, like she was inspecting her kingdom. It started innocently enough. Eleanor was trimming her backyard hedge one morning when Vi appeared at the fence, squinting at the pool like it owed her money. "That pool's gorgeous," she called, her voice syrupy but sharp. "It's nice and warm by noon, I bet. My grandkids would go nuts for it." Eleanor glanced up, pruning shears paused, and offered a tight smile. "It's nice, yeah." Vi stepped closer, undeterred. "They're with me all summer, full of energy, nowhere to burn it off. They keep asking for a pool, but you know how it is, HOA won't let us all have one. Too much paperwork. But since you've got this beauty, maybe they could swing by sometime." Eleanor blinked. It wasn't a question. It was a demand dressed up as neighborly charm. She took a breath. "I'm keeping it private," she said evenly. "It's my little escape. Hope you get that." Vi laugh was short, forced. "Oh, sure. But around here we share. Keeps us tight-knit. You'll come around." She turned and marched off, her sandals slapping the pavement. Leah VYing Eleanor staring at the hedge, a familiar unease creeping in. She'd met women like Vi before, clients who'd haggle over light fixtures at midnight, insist on rewiring entire houses, or scream about a single missed weed. She thought she'd left that behind. Apparently not. Things started small. A plastic bag floating in the pool one morning. A couple of empty soda cans by the fence. A faint stench in the filter, like something had rotted overnight. Eleanor cleaned it up, blamed the wind or maybe raccoons. But when she found gnawed ribs pink, slimy, bobbing under the skimmer, she knew it wasn't chance. She didn't panic. Instead, she installed a camera under the roof's eaves, pointed at the fence. She tightened the gate lock, reinforced the latch. Quiet moves, calculated. She hoped she was wrong, but feared she wasn't. The footage proved her right. At 2 a.m., Vi in a too-tight hoodie and cartoon pajama pants, waddled to the fence with a trash bag, he VYing it over like she was tossing a bouquet. It landed with a wet thud. Eleanor watched the clip twice, not angry, just tired. She saved it to 2 flash drives, stashed them in separate drawers, and emailed a copy to her lawyer, Samantha Reed, a no-nonsense former prosecutor who handled neighborhood spats like they were courtroom battles. Samantha's reply was one line. "Saw document everything. Don't engage. We'll hit hard when it's time." Saw. A week later, the neighborhood council sent Eleanor a complaint, accusing her of improper chemical disposal and offensive environmental practices. The irony burned. She scanned her pristine pool, the water sparkling, and glanced at Vi and's cluttered porch plastic flamingos, a gaudy flag, pure chaos. Standing in the sun, Eleanor made a choice. If Vi wanted a war, she'd get one, but on Eleanor's terms sharp, precise, and undeniable. The mornings changed. Eleanor sipped her coffee with wary eyes, checking the yard's perimeter like a sentry. She stopped Leah VYing the pool uncovered at night. Peace wasn't a given anymore. It was something she had to guard. 3 days after the complaint, her gate was ajar, not broken, just cracked, a subtle taunt. She'd locked it the night before, tested it twice like always. The camera missed it, angled wrong. Furious at her own oversight, she adjusted it that afternoon. Then came the chicken livers. A family-sized tub, lit off, sunken in the pool, leaking a pinkish haze. Eleanor didn't flinch. She grabbed gloves, tongs, and a biohazard bag, fishing it out like it was just another chore. She'd smelled worse in foreclosed houses with burst pipes. This was deliberate, meant to ruin her sanctuary. She emailed photos to Samantha, who pushed for more cameras and motion lights. "No police yet," Samantha said. "But the second we get her face, we slap a trespassing warning through the council. That's our foundation." VY didn't stop. A community concern note appeared on Eleanor's door, printed in Comic Sans, whining about chemical scents and excessive surveillance. 3 ceramic owl lights in the garden were smashed, the shards stacked like a creepy offering. Eleanor bagged them, photographed every angle, and stayed silent. Then VY threw a neighborhood hospitality hour, plastering flyers everywhere, one taped to Eleanor's gate with neon duct tape. Eleanor left it for the wind to handle. That night, she watched from her kitchen, wine in hand, as VY played Queen across the street, barking orders in a glittery block boss apron. Guests shuffled awkwardly, some glancing at Eleanor's fence. VY pointed, sighed dramatically, milking the moment. Eleanor dipped her feet in the pool, blocking the noise, breathing deep. At 9:47 p.m., a shriek split the air. She opened the gate. Across the street, a freak gust had flipped VY's buffet table, splattering coleslaw, chicken, and potato salad in her lap. VY flailed, screaming, sauce dripping like a badge of defeat. Someone yelled, "What was that wind?" Another said, "Like a damn jet engine." Eleanor knew. Her leaf blower, untouched for weeks, was out by the shed, fuel cap loose, nozzle extended. Someone had tried to frame her. She called Samantha. "You're sure you were nowhere near it?" Samantha asked. "I was in my yard," Eleanor said. "Didn't touch it." Samantha paused. "She's sloppy now. This is good. We hit back." Samantha filed a misconduct report, citing harassment and attempted sabotage, backed by footage, photos, and Eleanor's affidavit. The council dragged its feet, warning Eleanor to avoid provocations. Meanwhile, VY's SUV cruised by 5 times in one day, slow, windows down, her stare cold. It wasn't intimidation, Anna Maria, it was obsession. Then came the envelope, typed, "No return address," claiming Eleanor's camera's VY OLED privacy. Samantha smirked. "This is VY, pure and simple. She's scared of your footage." At 2:11 a.m., the cameras caught her again, dragging trash bags, pausing to sit on the curb, exhausted before tossing them over. Samantha had enough. They filed a restraining petition and a trespass warning, delivering a copy to VY's porch. It sat there for hours, ignored. But VY wasn't done. While Eleanor was at the farmer's market, someone tore through her garden, tipped patio chairs into the pool, and smashed a planter against the wall. Barbecue sauce spelled out "share or leave" on the deck. Eleanor froze, keys in hand, heat rising in her chest. This wasn't petty, it was war. She documented every inch, called Samantha, who filed a criminal complaint, trespassing, vandalism, harassment. VY countered with a lawsuit, claiming Eleanor spread lies and ruined her reputation. Samantha laughed. She's trapped herself. This opens discovery. She's done. But the fight took its toll. Eleanor's sprinklers were cut, motion sensors fried. Neighbors filed fake noise complaints machinery at midnight, shouting, even in intense wind, damaging flowers. At a council hearing, VY sobbed theatrically, handkerchief dry, while Eleanor sat stone-faced. The panel promised a decision in 2 weeks, dodging action. That night, Eleanor stared at her pool, the blue glow mocking her. Her home wasn't hers anymore. Trust was gone, neighbors, the system, all eroded. But something else grew, resolve, sharp and unyielding. The rain came hard, a storm that mirrored the tension. The council's decision was spineless. No proof of VYN's guilt, just a plea for mediation. Samantha scoffed. They're cowards. We're done asking. VYN, sensing VY Tory, threw another barbecue, strutting in a floral blouse, her chalkboard sign taunting, all welcome. Eleanor waited. At the party's peak, with VYN laughing loudly, Eleanor rolled out her leaf blower, cleaned and fueled. She'd saved every piece of VYN's trash bones, wrappers, diapers scatologed like EVY Denke. Now it was ammunition. She aimed over the fence and let the blower roar. Trash soared in a VY Lou arc, splattering VYN's buffet, her lap, her door. Coleslaw hit her hat. A soggy diaper slapped her SUV. Screams erupted, guests fled, plates flew. Eleanor didn't stop until the bags were empty. She locked the blower away, sat by the pool with iced tea, and waited, heart steady. She hadn't crossed her property line. This wasn't revenge, it was justice. Police knocked 30 minutes later. Eleanor handed over a folder. VY Deos, logs, photos, complaints. The officer read slowly, sighed, and asked, "Anyone I should call to escalate this?" She smiled. "You just did." Across the street, VYN, sauce-stained, screamed for Eleanor's arrest. The officer asked for proof. VYN had none. He drove off. The neighborhood chat lit up. Some praised Eleanor, others begged for peace. One post read, "Maybe VYN's finally done." 2 days later, her house was dark, decorations gone. A for sale sign appeared, no fanfare, just defeat. Eleanor swam again, the pool hers once more. New neighbors moved in, a teacher, quiet kind. The block settled, whispers faded. Eleanor hosted a small dinner, just 6 people, including a once-wary neighbor who brought bread. No one mentioned VYN. The stars were back, sharp against the sky. Eleanor hadn't fought for glory. She'd fought for her line, her peace. VYN burned her own bridges, her noise collapsing into silence. Eleanor's home was hers again, and it would stay that way. So what do you think? Was Eleanor a hero for standing her ground? Or did she go too far with the leaf blower? Should she have called the cops sooner? Or was her silence her strength? Drop your take below. Hit that like button if this got your blood pumping, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you glued.